Hey Dr. White, what's going on? It is Sears back with another A+ video, and today we're going to be talking about the book Forged by Fire, specifically part 2. I'm going to give you a couple quotes that I really loved and I enjoyed from this. The first one is, if you're not doing what's in your heart, then you're doing it wrong. You see, when you find your why, as the author put it, or the reason that you get up in the morning, the reason that you go to work, your job becomes more than just a job. It becomes a mission. It becomes a way of life. Growing up, my dad always told me that he heard from his grandpa that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And in the 26 years that my dad was in the United States Navy, he claimed to have only worked about 6 to 7 days, and those days were just awful. He didn't work because he loved what he did. The author Mila Griggs likened, wow, there's a bug like right about to go into my lens. Hold on. Anyway, the author Mila Griggs likened your why and knowing what your why is to a map. You see, when you have a map, or when you have a GPS or map app, as I like to use, you can kind of tell where you're going. You can see the turns ahead of you. You can kind of see exactly what's going on. You may not be able to see the exact scenery that you're going into, but you can see where you're headed. And when you have your why and you find your reason for doing things, you can see where you're going. You can see a positive future. I'm gonna tell you a little story. 2016, Super Bowl 51. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots are down 28-3 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter and another 15 minutes in the fourth quarter. That's all they had left. Now, in 17 minutes of time in the game of football, that's not a lot of time to be able to come back from down 25 points. And on top of it, the rival team, the Falcons, had the ball. Now, what happens next might shock you. See, Tom Brady rallied his team. They knew their why. Their why was to win the Super Bowl. The reason that they got up in the morning was to win the Super Bowl. And in the end, the Patriots ended up winning 34-28 in an overtime thriller in what is known as one of the greatest Super Bowls ever played. The reason that the Patriots were able to not lose focus and not lose themselves was because they knew their why, and they stuck to their why more than the Falcons did. And lastly, Mila explained how you can find your why. Now, doesn't matter how late you are in life, doesn't matter whether you are 15 or 1500 years old, you can always find your why and find a way to apply it to your life today. So here's how you can find your why. You're going to ask yourself a couple questions. The first question you're going to ask yourself is, would I do it for free if I had to? What gets you out of bed in the morning? Now, this question can really turn into something where it's like, I get out of bed in the morning to provide for my family. I get out of bed in the morning to give myself a solid future. For me, I get out of bed in the morning so I don't get a class absence. And then the last question she asked is, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? It's something that really surprised me. It wasn't necessarily about the book. It's something that I actually found out about myself. I think I know what my why is. You see, the reason that I do photography has nothing to do with the followers, has nothing to do with really even the art of it. The reason that pushes me to keep going and keep trying even when things get hard and when things get rough and I don't have time is the face I see. When people see their photos, will see their video, and I see their face just light up with excitement and joy. Anyway, Dr. White, you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you for part 3.